Morning. Morning, everybody. All right, rocking the tri-suit today because I didn't get my cycling bibs washed. So this will be interesting on the keister. We'll be doing some keister training today. Yeah, for those of you that don't kind of know much about cycling seats, they're not the plushest seats around. Typically, this is why you see the cycling shorts and it looks like they got a big old feminine pad on the bottoms of them, because that acts as your actual seat cushion and it molds to your derriere. It's like, I swear, when I wear my cycling outfits, that's the closest I'll ever be to a woman. Wearing a pad and wearing a bra with my heart rate monitor. It's the closest I'll ever be. And with that, my friends, welcome to the Frito Bandito Taqueria Pain Cave. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to be hearing at 5:30 in the morning Pacific time. It's just delicious. So you might be wondering why I'm wearing my tri-suit. Like I said at the onset, it is simply because I did not wash my cycling clothing, and I didn't want to wear them again because it would be muy stinky. And it's good for me to cycle in these every once in a while. Get some more use out of these things. So this is my racing suit from 2 years ago. Basically, I keep 3 triathlon suits on hand, you know, just in case. Number one, something horrendously malfunctions on my latest tri-suit. And then number two, if I wind up doing a big brick or something like that, it's really convenient to just wear the tri-suit, because then all I gotta do is throw my shoes on and go. It is not fun running in an actual cycling bib. It is not fun to run in one of those. Alright, looks like we got 4 10-second max efforts here for warm-up. He's got a big old tempo session today. I'm guessing that's probably about 20 minutes. 20 minutes in tempo. Ooh, it's gonna be delicious. Hey, what up, Will? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it was funny when you were talking about arranging PTO yesterday. I'm like, what's that? We don't have that in my work. We don't really have PTO. But tomorrow morning I'm gonna go make pancakes for the swim team. Gonna be flapping the jacks on the pool deck. Pretty excited about that. That's gonna be fun. Means I gotta go out today and buy that stuff. I know what PTO means, moron. All right, here we go. I know what it means. We just don't really have that system at my work. Oh, I'm getting new running shoes today. And the exact same running shoes that I've had before. No, I do. My wife's work is a little more traditional in terms of structure. They actually have an HR department. They have a PTO system. Yeah, well, we also just don't do that. We don't have that kind of an infrastructure set up. We don't have that kind of stuff set up to where I could formally request PTO that is baked within the amount of hours that I do. No. Basically, this week is kind of my PTO. Okay, what is this garbage? Okay, I need to... Hold on, let me get through this last sprint. I don't like this garbage. Get this garbage off my Spotify. Alright. One more 10 seconds. Alright, hand back down. Nope. We'll just have to stay on top of it. Ha! Hey, do it, buddy. You know how I roll. Do your honey-do list, man. Gotta get those done. I got a honey-do list. Hold on. A little bit too tight on my left shoe here. Ah, very cool. So you're just gonna be listening. You won't be able to countermand any of the assertions that I make against you. All right. So let's see here. So we got Dawn Trail already downloaded, ready to go. If you were in the Frito Bandito Taqueria Discord, you would know that I've posted that in the Final Fantasy area. So I have all the new game data downloaded. Today, when I'm at work, I'm going to get my my game code all set up. So we'll be all ready to play tomorrow, which I'm pretty excited for. So we're going to start. We'll start with some MSQ stuffs. No, first thing we'll do, we'll gear up Warrior. So we're going to gear up Warrior. and get them all current eye level gear, and then we'll start rolling on the MSQ. Might as well. We'll make sure and do Beast Tribes though. Want to keep going on the Beast Tribes. So we'll spend just a little bit of time doing Beast Tribes, and then we'll dive right back into the MSQ. So, also big news, we got the big presidential debate tonight. I'm not going to go too insanely political about this, but just wanted to objectively talk about this. This presidential debate, more than any other one, I believe is one everyone should be watching. Everyone needs to watch this, especially Democrats. You need to go out there and you need to see the guy that they're allegedly putting up to be the leader of the country again. And I really, really hope that he is forced to answer for everything that he's done. I think the moderators are totally going to be bailing him out. I very much so predict that. And, but it's going to be an interesting spectacle, to say the least. Excuse me. But yeah, the one thing that you need to focus on more than anything is how does Biden behave himself? Because I think Trump's going to be pretty disciplined this time around. I think Biden's going to be unhinged. You know, if they get unlock the new jobs. Oh, you mean like I unlocked Reaper? I didn't unlock Reaper. I haven't unlocked Reaper yet. To my undying shame, I never unlocked Reaper. I can still unlock it. That's not a problem. I just haven't done it. But yeah, so I really do believe that a lot of the facets of the debate go unlock the Endwalker job. One job. I got Sage. I just didn't get Reaper. But so anyway, basically with the debate, you gotta watch it. If you're a conservative guy, make Zero happy. I need to make Zero happy. I'll do anything to make Zero happy. She's hot. I enjoyed Zero. I would say Menphilia, Zero, and the Machinist chick. Those three are the hottest chicks in Final Fantasy. Oh, and Ishtola. Those four. Those are the top four. Alright. But I truly believe. Oh, there's just a gator right there. Don't mind it. He's just hanging out over there. But I really do think that they're going to stack the deck against Trump. I really, really do believe that. But what was funny was I had a pre-debate thing going on yesterday from World of Stew at the Blaze, and my wife is listening, and she goes, "Oh wait, are they talking about how Gavin Newsom's going to go down and replace Biden at the debate?" I was like, what? I was like, what the heck? I haven't heard anything about that. And then I look into it, and Newsom's going to be a campaign surrogate down at Atlanta at the debate. Which, what that basically means is he's going to be a talking head in favor of Biden. That's it. I mean, I would laugh super hard if they did pull a switcheroo at the final hour and put Newsom on that stage, but that's not what's happening. All right, just about out of the woods here. Got 20 seconds left here. But yeah. So I think the debate is going to be interesting. Right? Oh, good Lord. That is a ticket straight from H-Town. That would absolutely be the worst nightmare for the nation as a whole. Like I've said before, even Californians totally hated Newsom before COVID. And then once COVID happened, literally everyone in California got really stupid. And they saw Newsom as some sort of a COVID savior, which was beyond the pale stupid. I mean, and we all know what Whitmer did, but Newsom was almost as bad. Whitmer was the worst, by far, in terms of response and how she handled things. She was by far the worst, objectively, and then Newsom wasn't too far behind her. Oh, wow, I think I actually saw a runner over there. Oh, no, I know. No, 100%, I know. Trust me, Will.
I know.
But yeah, no, that would be a terrible ticket, because here's the thing, even like there was a news story about 2 weeks ago where Jillian Michaels, who, if that name rings a bell, she's that pretty hot trainer chick that did a whole lot of exercise videos back in like the early to mid 2000s. Even she moved out of California, and she openly stated, hey, I couldn't handle it anymore. I could not. I mean, I check all the woke boxes. I mean, I'm a lesbian, I'm a minority, I'm this, I'm that. I check all of these boxes of these woke people. I can't stand these policies. I just can't stand them. And it's when you lose me, you've done a terrible job. So Newsom is not going to have a huge fan base outside of California. I mean, yes, but it doesn't really matter because California's locked down for the Democrats anyway. But I really do think that since Trump actually came and campaigned in California, I think there's going to be a fair amount of turnout for Trump in California. Not enough to win the state by a long shot, but I think he's going to get a sizable bump this year, which I think should happen, because you're going to get a lot of people that are just absolutely fed up with how Democrats have run this state. Like, all right, here we go. 35 minutes. 35 minutes. We're chilling right here. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. We'll be good. But I always ask, what is it going to take for California to finally say, nope, we've had enough. No more Democrats. No more Democrats running the state. Because what's hilarious is you got Newsom running around blaming Republicans for literally everything that's going on with California. But it's like, we haven't had anyone but Democrats exclusively running this state since the 80s. It's been 30 plus years at this point since anyone but Democrats have run the state. So they should be owning everything. And like I've been pounding this idea on social media. It's like, look, Democrats have run everything in this state. I'm not saying you have to vote for a Republican. I'm just saying, just don't vote for a Democrat. That's it. That's all you got to do. You just got to look and say, I'm not voting for a Democrat. I'm going to vote Green Party. I'm going to vote Libertarian. I'm going to vote Independent. You know, just not Democrat. That's it. That's the first step. And remember, if there's just a Democrat on the ticket, you can choose not to hit that button. You can choose to pass. You do not, this is not a school Scantron test. You do not have to fill out every bubble. Actually, I remember taking the, there was a test I took. I can't remember which one. It was one of my engineering tests where you like got penalized less. Can't remember which one off the top of my head, but you got penalized less for just leaving an answer blank rather than getting it wrong. So it was like strategic, which ones you guessed and which ones you didn't answer. That threw a fun level of stress into that test. Oh boy. But yeah, so on the house renovations update, so we got our, I got my contractor buddy coming over. He's gonna get me hooked up with guys for pavers and guys for concrete, and gonna get his contractor pricing. Gonna get all that started today. And on Saturday, oh boy. Saturday is gonna be an interesting day. I'm renting a sod buster, and I'm gonna bust all the grass in my front yard, and I'm gonna bust all the grass in my backyard. Not all of it, in the backyard. I'm gonna be setting up a chalk path, and we're gonna be working on stupid. I had a freaking skeeter just going to town on my freaking elbow. Ugh. There's one thing I hate about mosquitoes around here. They target my joints, my elbows and my knees and my ankles. Oh, that's just a boo-boo. But yeah, so today we're gonna be chalking. We're gonna be delineating out the backyard. So we're gonna be pulling tape, marking stuff. No, completely desodding it. So that it's that machine that cuts. Gonna be cutting 2 inches underneath it, and just gonna be rolling it all up and throwing it on a dumpster and getting it out of here. So we're taking out all the grass in my front yard, and then we're gonna be taking out a whole area, the path in my backyard. Yeah, we don't really do aeration over here. It's not that necessary. And whenever I did aerate my yard, I just got a little stomper, spike stomper, and I just stomp it into the ground. That's all I do. You see, we don't have freeze-thaw cycles over here. We don't have freeze-thaw cycles that require the big old plug aeration. Just don't need it. There's some people who do it. It's not necessary. Speaking of hopefully soon to be President Trump. Whew. It's good we're maintaining about 133. It's good heart rate to maintain for this. Yeah. No, basically what aeration does is it allows, and this is mostly done in places where there are freeze-thaw cycles. So it takes out about a plug this deep, and then what that does is that allows the soil to expand and contract. And yeah. So okay. So you know I'm a Trump guy. Okay, and I'm not gonna tell you you're an idiot for wanting that. I do kind of wish there was a different option. Personally, I would want DeSantis, but I'm perfectly okay with DeSantis being there for 28, and that he kind of bowed out of the race a little early. I mean, realistically, it doesn't matter if it's Trump or DeSantis. The media would treat him exactly the same way. So that's one thing you got to understand. If you're thinking, well, Trump's just a bigger target, they would have treated DeSantis the exact same way. They would have found something to use lawfare against him. They'd be using the same attack patterns. And on top of that, they have his record as a governor, and they're going to throw everything at him. Oh, he hates children because he hates Disney. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The media is going to make whoever the Republican candidate is look like the worst person on earth. You want to know how I know this? Romney. That freaking dirtbag. There's not many people I despise on this earth. I despise Romney. And he's the one person where I look at my mom and I say, you know what? I was right. I knew he was a dirtbag. I knew he didn't care. I knew he was totally progressive. And the exact definition of a rhino. Republican in name only. He is such a slimy dirtbag. It just makes me hurt. Let's see here. We're at 25. Okay, we're at 25 minutes left. But it doesn't matter who they put up. It doesn't matter who the RNC puts up. But the big thing about Trump, he'll fight back, 100%. I think DeSantis is more tactful at fighting back. But I think with Trump, you're going to be able to get more of the minority vote for him, especially with how they're treating him in the courts, because that actually resonates with a lot of the dispossessed black population, where they feel like the entire system's out to job them. And on top of that, a lot of black people kind of like him. They like the Trump. They like the lifestyle. They like the bling. They like the 90s version of Trump. And that's what they see. So you get a charismatic guy like Trump. Plus, they are the black and Latino population really not down on whole. They're not down with all the craziness of the progressive agenda. Don't get me wrong. Culturally, they love them the welfare. They love them all that stuff. Yeah. That's what DeSantis is. DeSantis is Trump with tact. I think he'll clean house in the 28 election if he's going up against Newsom. If he is going up against Newsom, it is not even going to be close. There is no way that people are going to see DeSantis versus Newsom, and they're going to... He'll get the popular vote 100%. Which I understand 100%. I get it with Trump's personality. But in this kind of a climate, it's going to take that kind of a personality to beat back the lawfare. Which, if you don't understand what that term is, it's using the courts to go after political opponents. Because lots of people are like, oh, well, he's a felon, he's a felon, he's a felon. Okay, so let's logically go through this. What is he being charged with? Well, he's being charged with a campaign finance ding. That's a misdemeanor at best that was perpetuated back before 2016, during the campaign of 2016. Okay? Number one, outside of the statute of limitations. It's outside of the statute of limitations. He should not have been charged with that crime. Number two, the crime is basically an accounting error, where the accountant put it in column A when it should have been in column B. When you pare away all the sex stuff, that's basically what the crime is. Number three, why was he charged with this after he threw his hat in for the presidential ring? Why was it after? Because it was specifically targeting him as a candidate. If he would have just stayed away, those charges would not have been filed. Because they knew about this. The federal government knew about this. Now here's the big kicker. He is actually being charged with a federal crime, and he was brought up in a state court. That's a big problem, because state district attorneys do not have jurisdiction over federal crimes. Now, the federal government did investigate him over the whole Stormy Daniels thing. The federal government didn't charge him. They decided it wasn't worthy of being charged. So you get an overeager state district attorney who wants to make a name for himself, and he gets a court that'll happily go along with it, a judge that hates Trump's guts in a jurisdiction that went like well over 80% for Biden. Not even close. Of course you're going to get a conviction there. Of course. That's rigging the courts. That's what a lot of black people aren't cool with. All right, heart rate's climbing up now. So, it's going to take a guy that is that WWF from the 90s attitude, where he will get in that ring, he will take that chair, and he will clobber someone with that chair. And honestly, hold up. Oh, that's my wife letting the dog out. Hey, love. Oh. Oh, yeah. Good old trough eating. Oh, I bet Haley would have been all over that.
That should do it.
Yeah. She would, and then she would give in to her piggy tendencies. She'd find it hilarious. Oh, speaking of water, for Reed's preschool, they said he did great yesterday. He got a boo-boo on his knee. And they said that he should bring a water cup or little water bottle for himself. Right. Yeah. So in 2 weeks. All right. Bye, beautiful. All right. 20 minutes left here. So yeah, basically any of the other court cases too. The you also got the classified documents case. You got the phone call case in Georgia. Basically, all these cases came up very soon after he declared his presidency. So all these court cases, there's a high probability they would have never been done if he just have I gotten up and done chores? Hey, you got another 20 minutes to wake up. Okay? I know it's only 9 o'clock there, but you can hang out for 20 more minutes. No. Mrs. William Paul, I am not keeping your husband captive here. He is staying here under his own free will. Free will! Free will! Alright, we're about halfway through. So yeah, so I think right now Trump is going to be the best case. The biggest question is, who's he picking for VP? So I don't think he's picking, I very much so think we've ruled out DeSantis. I don't think he's going to pick DeSantis. I honestly think Jim Jordan would be a good idea. I think he's on the list. I hope he doesn't pick Tim Scott. I like the guy. The dude, I don't know how good he would be. I mean, realistically, vice president, except with the case of Biden, is just a figurehead. He does really nothing. So it doesn't matter who you put in there. You know, the question is, who's a better spokesman? So I think Tim Scott might be a decent pick. Because he doesn't really have a mind of his own. I don't. And that's not a race thing, that's just a personality thing. He looks like he'd go along to get along with Trump. He'd have no real issues with Trump. I mean, even during the campaign, he didn't really have anything bad to say about Trump. I think Ramaswamy would be better in the cabinet. Let's put him under finance or commerce and have him wreck house. Have him wreck house in the Fed and all those other places. Just have him completely go in and wreck house. That's what I want. Like, basically, my entire wish list is for the president to go ham on the bureaucratic state that is all under the umbrella of the executive branch. Just needs to start wrecking house, closing up shop, transferring power back to the states. That's the biggest problem, is that the the executive branch has taken up too much power. And all those responsibilities, they all should be transferred back to the states. And that's the biggest problem, is that we have too many people that are called unelected bureaucrats. So in other words, they're people that staff the Department of Agriculture, Department of Education, Department of, basically all these acronymed, Department of Energy, Department of Homeland Security, all these places. Like, sincerely, you want to make airports better? Get rid of TSA. TSA was a terrible thing to begin with, and it does nothing. Because even by their own reports, their own internal testing, they miss 90% of contraband that goes through in luggages. They miss 90%. So, what's the point? Like, here, okay, so here's my biggest contrast of how things should be and how things are. So, if you follow the stream, you know I went to Disney World a couple weeks ago. Got to go ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which, open, fair and honest, it's fun. I liked it. It's good. Not happy with the reasoning, with their official reasoning for making the switch between Song of the South, but I understand it. Song of the South has been a dead IP since the late 80s. Time for a refresh. I'm okay with the refresh. But if they're just saying, hey, look, Song of the South, you know, we haven't done anything with it since the 80s. You know what? We're gonna give it a fresh coat of paint. We looked at all the IPs, and Princess and the Frog is the best fit, and that's what we're doing. I think you get a lot more people on board. But that's neither here nor there. But basically, I'm talking about security. How they do security at Disneyland versus how they do security over in Florida. In Florida, well, let's talk Disneyland first. You have to go through basically a TSA pre-check line where they check everything in your bags. You go through a security scanner, metal detector, and yeah, and it clogs up the lines. And if you hit the wrong time, you're waiting in line to get through security. It takes like 10-15 minutes. Ooh, 12 minutes left. Starting to feel it in my hips. So it's an absolute pain to get through security at Disneyland. In Disney World, open line, open security area, and they have a guy, they have a number of guys that all very much so look like they know what they're doing. These are people, and you can tell. You can tell when they're TSA wannabes, or you can tell when they've actually worked security before. People in Florida, they know what they're looking for. They know exactly what they're looking for. And they just let people walk on by. They just walk on by, and then they got a randomized checkup, the check set area, where they pulled my younger sister out, and they said, hey, sorry, we gotta search your bag. Randomized search. We're sorry, just coming over. It'll only take a minute. And they looked through, and done. That was it. And they let the flow continue. So that's the big difference between, and this is the same company, two different states. One's more free, the other one's more locked down. Burdened by regulations. So airports need to go back to where they were before 2000. That's all I'm saying. The whole federal overreach in TSA, not worth the money. They are not worth it. I swear, you put 15, you put 10 guys that know what they're doing, and you can have 20 people. You can have 20 people, two that are on elevated platforms, and then everyone else is just kind of milling about, plain clothes. Be way more secure. Trust me. You get competent ex-military members, guys that know what they're looking for. You can do it with half of the staff. It's like most of the big airports I go through. If you look around at the TSA checkpoints, half the people are doing nothing. They're just sitting there. They're just sitting there doing nothing. It's pathetic. I hate it. All right, 10 minutes left. Coming on 9. There's 35 minutes of deliciousness. Okay, heart rate's creeped up to 140. So we've had about 8 BPM increase over the course. So basically, what's been going on is as I've been in this tempo, it's been putting stress on my body, and the more stress it's put on, the higher my heart rate goes. We started around 32, 33. Now we're up 38, 39. So about 6 plus BPM increase. That's not bad. It's a pretty good, it's a pretty solid rate increase. Coming on 8 more minutes. Just moving the legs. So yeah, I'll be watching Steven Crowder tonight. We'll put it on stream. The debate will be over by then, but we'll put it on stream while we go around whacking monsters in Dragon's Dogma. Which, that was fun last night. That was a good time going through that castle battle. So tonight we're going to be mopping up a bunch of lesser side quests. Going to be buying up upgrades, going through quests. And then tomorrow we do Dawn Trail. Yeah. Fund the police, defund the TSA. More private security at airports. And also, honestly, defund the FAA. The FAA. There's a reason why Boeing, even though they literally have planes falling out of the sky, they're the #1 plane manufacturer for US air flights. Like, seriously, we need more competition. And Boeing has made a bunch of sweetheart deals to keep themselves on the top of the heap. But we need more competition, so we need to loosen a lot of the unnecessary regulations. Obviously, keep the ones that ensure there's proper scrutiny. Yes, defund the alphabet groups, 100%. Because a lot of those agencies, they're actually not constitutional. They do not lie within the bounds of what the federal government should be doing. They claim it is, though. Under the Common Clause, they claim there's a, can't remember which article, but basically interstate commerce, that's it. They believe the Interstate Commerce Clause is interpreted a lot more broad than it actually is. So they believe a lot of these things, they cross state lines, therefore it's up to the federal government to regulate them. Doesn't need to be like that. Does not need to be like that at all. We need less of the federal government, more state government involvement. So, each state has the ability to pick and choose what they want to do. We were never designed to have a all-encompassing, powerful federal government. think that was the Virginia plan originally. We were not. There was a reason they went away from the Virginia plan. They gave the federal government far too much power to control what everyone did. And shockingly, that's what happened. 4 minutes. 4 more minutes. And then we're done. Yeah, this is a good burn. This is a good burn. Staying up at 95 cadence, which is really good. This is a good strength building workout today. Three and a half. Oh, hey, defund those guys too. No more federal money to those groups. Honestly, no more federal money to a lot of groups. No more funding the arts. No more funding PBS. There's a lot of groups that can get cut. And they can totally survive off of private donations. If these public service groups, they want to survive, go to your liberal base. They got money. A lot of the millionaires and billionaires, they're all liberals. They can fund you way better than the government can. All right, 2.5. 2.5. Yes, exactly. No, there needs to be a massive, wholehearted reduction in spending. Honestly, I'm totally cool with going to the Democrats and saying, hey, look, we're gonna cut $2 trillion from the budget. You get $2 trillion to cut as well. You can cut it wherever you want. We don't care. You cut $2 trillion, we cut $2 trillion. There you go. That's easy. Trust me. They know where to cut $2 trillion. We know where to cut $2 trillion. We'll say, hey, you want equity? We both cut $2 trillion. There you go. There's your equity. That's the equitable thing to do. You get $2 trillion, we get $2 trillion. That's it. You do that, we'll be on a much better footing. Because we have reports down in Argentina that President Milei, they've had the first stoppage of inflation increase in decades. It's been 30 plus years, and they finally are not increasing in inflation. All right, 1 minute. 1 more minute. And then we're done here. And a 5-minute cool down, then we're done. Oh, I know. They don't want to cut anything. They get pissed off when you simply keep the level of spending the same. That's the funny thing about it. Where they say, oh, you're gonna cut spending. Cut the increase of spending. That's all we've been asking for the past couple of years. We've said, hey, just don't increase spending. Let's just keep it the way it is. But no, they won't do it. They won't do it. One and done. All right. All right. Come on. Drop it down. There we go. Slow down the cadence here. And we're done. Oh, I know. Oh boy, that's the funny thing. It's a never-ending cycle. You increase spending, you increase inflation, which increases spending, which increases inflation, which increases spending. It's a never-ending cycle. You gotta cut it. It is far easier and better overall economically to take the hit. There's gonna be a small crash, but that's what happened in the early 1920s. Calvin Coolidge came into office, massive inflation. He cut the government in half. What happened? We had the Roaring 20s. Obviously, mistakes were made, and we had the Great Depression. But here's the thing. The Depression, the forgotten Depression at the beginning of the 1920s was actually far more severe than the Great Depression. Nobody will tell you that. Why? Because they don't want to accept that Calvin Coolidge was the guy that came up with the solution, which was massively cut government spending. Massively cut government spending, massively cut government employment, massively cut the taxes. The economy came roaring back super quick. Came with the roar. That started the Roaring 20s. Now, here's the dirty secret about the debate tonight. If you take anything away from this, you're gonna hear Biden talk about jobs. I've created jobs. I've created jobs. I've created jobs. Here's the dirty secret. The jobs increase is from illegals, part-time work, and the federal government employment. Those three sectors have nothing to do with stable job creation. They are people taking 2-3 more part-time jobs, working 2 to 3 jobs just to stay afloat in the economy. These are not jobs that are single income, raising a family job. That's the biggest dirty secret that you got to take into the debate tonight, knowing that. So all of his increase of employment has come from illegals, federal employment. No, he spent a crap ton of money to just astronomically increase the amount of federal employees. That's not how you grow an economy. That's not how you put food on the table. That's taxing you and I more so he can simply give money to people for doing nothing of value. So anyway, we got 10 seconds here. That's going to end things for this morning here in the Frito Bandito Taqueria Pain Cave. So I hope you learned something today. And done. No, Will, you're absolutely right with that, honestly. This one shows the kilometers. Sorry, had a little bit of a small dizzy spell there. That's pretty standard after finishing a workout like that. Get some more sodium into my system. There you go. All right. All right. That's it for me today. Whew. And not too bad. Yeah, so we started off that set at 115. So we slowly got up to about 130. So that's about 2 minutes in. And then I had a slight that was a drop. Or that might have been where I fixed my shoe or fixed my elbow or something like that. So we started, yeah, so I was about right. So we started about 129, 130. So about 130 there. And then we wound up finishing, yeah, 142. About 142. So, okay, not too bad. About a 10 BPM increase. I'll take that. That was pretty successful. All right, we got to look at the other Chads. All right, we got a Chad. Alex has gone 16.5 miles. Up, Alexi's gone nearly 30 miles, 24 miles. Gotta see what other Chads we got here. That's it. Oh, looks like Alexi's done. Yeah, 30 miles. Looks like he's done. 0 watts per kilogram. Looks like he's almost done. Let's check the watts per kilogram. Let's see if we got any big Chads pushing big numbers. We got 2.8, 1.7, 2.5, 2.6, 3.1. Got anyone pushing higher than 3.5? 3.6? 3.6? Good. All right, what do we got for chat today? All right, let's upload that. 2,000 coins. Very nice. You see? I don't... Oh, okay, no. I've done 12 rides over 10 kilometers. Yeah. What is a daily event? Oh, I think it's these things. Okay, yeah. So these are hourly group workouts. Okay. All right. We're gonna log out here. All right, that's gonna be it for us. Yeah. Whew. That was a good hour workout right there. So all right, so we're gonna get out of here. Gonna get inside, get the kids ready for the day. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll be back much later tonight with debate plus Dragon's Dogma. So tune in. Probably I'll see if I can get out here around 8 o'clock. See if I can pull some strings and get out here a little earlier so we can listen to more of the debate together. So yeah. So until later, my friends. Good night, Isaiah Norris. wherever you are. We're out of here. Goodbye, everyone.